All right, chapter 38. This is the second part of it. All right. Uh, this page 223, and we're discussing here the relationship between the letter, I'm going to tell you the name, yi, and the alif that have no sound, right? At the end of some words. The letter alif appear in any position in the Arabic word except the first, the initial letter. Why? Because the alif is an extending letter. It's a silent, it's the only silent letter in Arabic. There is no Arabic word start with a silent letter or with sukoon, you know, although sukoon have nothing to do with the alif, right? Because sukoon only come with a consonant. So the no Arabic word start with alif, and no Arabic word start with sukoon. And if you see what look like alif in the beginning of the word, then it is hamza, and I mentioned that before, and it's not alif. So people say alif, but it's not really alif. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So we will have we talk here at the end of some, what we're going to see the example here, something at the end of the word. Let me just show you example. Too much talk here, Tiger alif, and too much talk, and to you, if you're not reading it yourself and taking your time, I'm going to confuse you with my accent again. Just okay. All right, basically, let me just jump in. You will see this word istad. You will see it. I should really put this one here. You'll see it like this, either like this or like that. There's a little alif in here. They call it Tiger alif, or like a little miniature alif right there, either with it or without it. Mostly without it. And how you know this alif? You look before this look like extending letter related to this vowel, right? Most of the time, if they have this simple, they don't put the vowel, so you will know this is a because of the alif here. All right, like if okay, well, here we go. It was written like istad right here. If we take off the vowel, this is right? And here it's the same thing because you have the simple. But here, if it's not written, kind of like you don't know what is this. But because now we're telling you what it is, you should know this is like a virgin or some kind of special case. I need to revise. This is too much talk about this. This is like extending letter alif, another version of it, or the miniature version of the alif carried by this shape with no dots. Okay, so this is, it sound like if it's written like this, istada. Like, and well, some say that it shouldn't be full it should be a little bit shorter. A different story. I don't want to get to that. Compare totally to different word. This could be istad when there's vowel here, the total different story here. Istad here, and this istad. Let me move forward. I can't dwell on this a long time. I will look at it more carefully again and see if I can, although I did fix it. It just, until you start to explain it to somebody, and what's happening when I'm thinking of what the student thinking while they're listening to me. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, is what I'm telling you make sense to you? It should make sense to you. That's what I'm thinking. It's not very well, but the example should explain to it. Okay, this one, it's this one. It's basically because this is like, and this one is the same, and it's basically should pronounce like if it was written like this one. So these guys are kind of version or special case of this. Why? That's whole different talk about it. I don't want to. That's why we have to do that. Certain words end up like this, and you have to read it correctly. So when you see it like this, it's hada. It's not hadi. And of course, for the obvious reason, there's a vowel here. Hada, here. Hadi. Again, here. Intaha. It's this one sound like this one. And this is very clear here. It is extending letter alif. Intaha. right? I missed the vowel here. Okay, and okay, here another totally different word, intahi. So this one does not, this one is not this one. It's totally totally different words, although they're almost identical, right? Except the vowel here and the two dots. That's the way it is. Ra, here ra, it's like this one, the same. You see it like this, and it's pronounced like this. But so because of the short of the vowel here, and this is totally different word. Ra'i. Okay, if ends with that, that's what we're talking about. You, if it's end like this, it will be equal to that. But here it's end up with, this is extending letter, this one. There is E, and this become E. Here it's A. It's like this one. If it's end with this, it should be here, then it's equal to that. Backwards. Okay, I need to fix that one also. You got the idea, right? So whenever you see something like that, it does not mean it's like this or there's missing something. It's mean, most likely we will show it to you like this, so you know it's sound like that. Got it? That's the point. Why did they choose this confusing shape? I have to show you the philosophy behind it. Let me see. The answer is explained in grammar books. Okay, I would stop to that. I used to know why. Right now, I'm so much in trouble after sickness. Try to finish this. All right, page 224. Important note. Okay, I'm losing my voice again. And do I need it? Okay, let's see. Do I need to enlarge it less here? Let me see. No, it's okay. The important note, what? Some classical educational book, you may see this without two dots. All right, that's like confusing more for what we just saw, right? So, oh, that's not related to what we just saw and mastered, right? We were supposed to already master that. You already know about this. But here you go. So how we decide if the ending is a normal list letter, or is it extending letter this one, or it's this one? The answer to this one should be very, very easy. Because both of them here and here, they are extending letters. And you know the difference between the A and the E. That's one answer. And of course, we already told you that this indicate the ending. Well, I don't want to confuse you. Forget all that. Okay, let me see the example. This word end like this. And it's equal to this. I don't know why I'm putting it backward. End with this one. And we're going like this way. And it's equal to this one. Whatever you want to do it. Go. This shouldn't be here then. We're going backward, right, with the reading. Let me take this one out. Well, you will not believe it anyway. We are reading like this. That's okay. End with. All right. I should add a word here. That word. Again, too far. Okay. Let's do the example. You will understand with the example. Most likely with your courses, they will not set you up to sit down and scratch your head about this. But when you start going into the courses and learning the Arabic, these issues will be no problem. Well, sometimes. Even in regular publication, if it's confusing, they will put the vowel. They will put this simple. They will put both. They will put this one and that one. Okay, let's get to business. You know that the difference between the two, this is two different extending letters. It just has a new shape, special case for that setup of extending letter, for the long sound, basically. The long vowel, This equal to that. That's all what we say. All right, here, na, and what's this? Na, Da. We pronounce it like this one. I'm surprised I didn't put. Okay, yeah, this one mean nada. Why I'm repeating it twice here? I don't have time to think about this right now. Oh, the dots. Okay, well, nada is here. This is like equal to this one, and here it's nadi, whole different sound. And even if you see it like this, it is that. That's what. And oh, saha. Yeah, here we don't have the vowel. Because of this, we don't have the vowel. Here we have the vowel. We don't have the extending, the little dagger. And here, nadi, and you see it like this, but you could see it like this also. So these two are equal. They're all equal. It's not different example. I need to redesign the whole thing. But let me, okay, redesign it. But the idea is stand here. This one, saha, pronounced like this one, right? You see it like this because, okay, I see it. This kind of confusing, but yeah, this one is equal to this one. But here it's sahi, and here we don't have the vowel, but we know it's sahi. And here we have the vowel, but we don't have the dots. Same sahi. I think the key is the vowel here. And here, saha, the key here is either you see this one or you see this one, but there's no dots in the bottom. So you know it's the part. All right, mustawa, mustawa. So this one sound like this one. And mustawi sound like this. This is the correct way to say it. And even if we don't have the vowel or we don't have the dots, it's still the same. All right, I will skip this. It said, let me prove to you that the shortened alif is a shape variation of the extending letter alif. I don't want to do this, it's not important. Okay. Well, if you have the book, you can read it, it's very clear, but it's otherwise, don't worry about it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let me get to this quickly. 12 minutes. Here we go. All right. What we have here, the short alif, dagger alif, can be represent a full-size alif. It's been a while since I did. Well, originally I've been told, and the research said that the dagger alif is not really the full-size alif. It's kind of less, maybe instead of 6 times in our case, maybe 2 times, right? That's the intention was in the classical book of the Quran when they used it first. Honest to God, I mean, I'm not making this up. So this like a little for the reader to make it not like 4 to 6 times, make it short. It's a little bit shorter. Okay, I don't want to get to that. That's another issue. But so let's just it can represent. All right, it can. It can. In these cases here. Okay, well, wow, I have no idea. That's very confusing to me. Well, I'm going to check on this. Maybe in certain kind of words. No, I think what I told you stand, and I'm going to double check on it. Okay, so here we have maliku. It will be written like this with the dagger alif, so it's maliku. Yeah, it's an old style of writing, I believe. I will check on this and I'll fix this up. But I will write to tell you this one and this one is the same. And here, kitabu, it will be like, you may see it like this, kitabu. You know, it's not written like this, it's written like this. Sadiqina, if you see it like this, it's the same like this one. That's like that. This is an alif right there. So this is not sadiqina, sadiqina. Here, afwahihim, afwahihim. Yeah, here will be the same, afwa. This because of this here, him. Shafa'atu, it will be written like this. The alif will be smaller, hanging up in the air, right there. Ashabu is the same thing. And there's a whole list today in the regular standard Arabic that came from that tradition, but we don't think about it. For example, we see in Arabic today, in standard Arabic, we see this word هذا, and nobody stood up and said, wait a minute, this doesn't really look like هذا, and we are pronouncing it like this. But where that come from? It came from the text of the Quran originally. You need to remember the Quran was the first book in Arabic. These people were totally illiterate. Literally, nobody, they were they are oral people. They had memory, just unbelievable poetries and stuff, but the writing was not much. So here we go. This man Muhammad come. We have the Quran, and suddenly we went from 99% illiterate people to 20,000 people after 2 years after his death. There was like 20,000 people, all know, not just reading and writing, they memorized the whole text of the Quran. They could rewrite it. I mean, you talk about a wow thing here, because they learn the passage, and they learn to read and write very quickly, and that was the requirement when they had their war with their opposition. If they had people captured, they tell them, we'll set you free if you teach these 3 people how to read. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. So you talk about a miracle in that society, that they were literally illiterate to absolutely all of them reading and writing. I mean, in that time of history, I cannot tell you, this is like wow thing in the whole world. Nobody talk about this. I don't know why. It's just like when I see it, it hit me so hard. Man, this is just wow. It's so big. Anyway, and of course they went and the books and translate other the amazing jump in science, and but anyway, that's another subject. Okay, so this word basically traditionally was in the Quran, but become traditionally read like this. But they mean it should be like that. It should be written like this, but it's written like this, pronounced like that. And these, but sometimes in the Quran you see them like that. Ilahu, it's like pronounced like ilah, and it's like this ilah. There is not very large list of words. It's just very short actually, and you can very quickly you know how to pronounce them. But we native people, we don't sit down and think, wait a minute, this is really not, this one doesn't really sound like ha. No, what's happened? Oh, I thought the camera stopped. Ha-ulai. We don't sit, we should, but and I mean for you. Ha-ulai, it's read like this because originally it was like that with the diagonal alif right there. You see it? I added up with my pen because I couldn't, working with software and find this and try to put it there, it's a nightmare. Here we go. So this word كذلك, it's pronounced كذلك like this, but here in the standard Arabic there is no diagonal alif to show you, and everybody read it correctly. Although if they look at it carefully, they'll say, wait a minute, that doesn't really sound كذا, that sounds كذلك. It's not كذلك. All right, so, but that's a small list of them. You will learn them so quickly. One more page and we'll be done. Okay, I don't want to redo this one. All right, let me continue before something happened. I swear to God, this chapter, I'm ready to throw the book to the wall because of this chapter alone. Okay, and the one before it, and one before it. All right, I'm kind of like exhausted. I'm sitting at home, going nowhere, try to finish this, and that's really not the way I should do it. Time is against us. All right, here we go. Practice number 12. Oh my goodness, I should really, here we go. Come on. Can you see this? Did I mention the font size is just unheard of? You won't see this in any other book. Anyway, another story. But just one little note. How these people learn how to read and